Welcome to Designer Digital's Bi-Weekly Tip, January 24th, 2020. This week how to recolor parts of more complex images with brushes in Photoshop and Elements. There are some things in Photoshop and Elements that always seem a little bit like magic to me. The ability to recolor embellishments and template components with just a few brush strokes is one of those things. When you want to recolor different sections of an image, using the brush tool gives you the control that you need to get the details exactly right. You can make each element of your project match perfectly by tweaking the colors. Here's how. In Photoshop or Elements, begin by opening an image that you want to recolor. Make a copy of the document by choosing Image, Duplicate from the menu bar. In Elements, you'll find this under File, Duplicate. When the Duplicate Image dialog box populates, it has the name of your document plus the word Copy. You can either keep that or rename it and then click OK. This saves you from accidentally overwriting the original. So now you can keep the copy out and close the original. You can also open an image such as a paper or a photo that contains the colors that you want to use for recoloring if you like. I've opened up this pocket card from the Monthly Memories Volume 2. Choose a color by clicking the foreground color chip at the bottom of the Tools panel. This brings up the color picker. You can either choose a color from here, you can drag this up and down to get different hues and choose a color, or you can just drag the cursor outside of the color picker and click on a color. So I'll pick up this pretty green from the leaves and then click OK. You'll notice that the foreground color changes to the color that you've clicked. In the Layers panel, click on the layer of the image that you're recoloring. So I'm going to have to go back over to this document and click the layer of the little charm that I'm recoloring. Click the Lock Transparent Pixels icon. It looks like a little checkerboard in the Layers panel. This causes the software to ignore the transparent portions of your image and recolor only the parts that are visible. Next, get a round brush by choosing the brush tool from the Tools panel. So I'm going to click on the brush tool, and then in the brush picker I'll choose a round brush. You'll find the brush picker at the bottom of Photoshop Elements in the tool options, and the round brushes will be found under Basic Brushes there. In the brush options, now you'll need to choose a brush mode. The mode that you select depends on the type of image that you're recoloring. So I'm going to start by recoloring a textured image. I want to recolor the ribbon on this charm. So for textured images, I need to choose the mode Color. And make sure that the opacity is set to 100%. With that set, you can just carefully click and drag over the portion of the image that you're recoloring. Remember, you can use Control plus, on a Mac system that's Command plus, to zoom in to see the details. You can also use Control minus to zoom out to see the whole thing. And now my brush is too big, so I'll use the left bracket key to reduce the size of the brush so that I can get in here and do this detail work. You just carefully come in and brush the portion of the image that you're recoloring. I want to get all of those little red pixels and recolor them with the green. And then I'll zoom back out by choosing Control minus. And just like that, the ribbon is recolored to match the papers that we're using. Now to change the color of the brush, I'm going to change the foreground color. So I'll click on that green foreground color chip and then come over and pick up this pretty gold from the pocket card that I'm using as my color. And then I'm going to get the brush tool again and choose Color Mode 100% with a round brush, and then zoom back in to recolor the silver and make it gold. To get in here and get these details, and then I can zoom out and increase the size of my brush using the right bracket key to get the rest of the charm. Now, full disclosure, if you're not getting good results with textured images using this method, try painting with a different color brush. For reasons that are beyond my understanding, sometimes trying to make the color lighter gives you unexpected results, so just try a different color. Now, if you're working on an image like this one, that's just all one color and it's not textured, you'll get the brush tool, and instead of using color mode, you'll just use normal. Making sure that the transparent pixels are locked, then you can just come over and paint. And I kind of made an oops on that, but that's alright. We'll take care of it in a minute. And I'm going to come in here and paint all of this. And it only paints the portions that are opaque. Okay, now I'm going to come back to my color picker and get the green color again off of the pocket card. And then I'm going to need to reduce the size of my brush by using the left bracket key. And come in and paint the words green. Another handy tip is to go ahead and make the foreground color the one color that you're using and the background color the other color that you're using. So I have the green and the gold. And then when you're working, if you come in here and, oh, oops, I accidentally did green, you can just hit X on the keyboard to switch. And then come in and clean up the parts that you messed up. So hitting X on the keyboard will toggle between the foreground and the background. And this is an easy way when you're using two colors. No matter how complex your image, you can recolor all of the different parts of it using this technique. Thanks so much for watching this week's video, and be sure to check back in 2 weeks for another Designer Digitals tip on recoloring.